So what is peer pressure? It's actually the idea of conformity, It occurs when an individual feels as though they need to do the same things as people their own age or in their social group to be liked or accepted. So this time during adolescence, usually children wanted to belong in a group or a group of friends.
So why do you think peer pressure is powerful? So peer pressure feeds on the things that frighten us. Okay, we are social creatures and we really want to belong, to have friends and avoid loneliness and gain approval from others. So the fear of not having those things is enough to propel some people to extreme or inappropriate responses. That's why peer pressure is powerful. There is also what we call negative peer pressure. So it is often dangerous and against school rules, home rules, and personal values such as skipping, vandalizing, smoking, sneaking out of the house, bullying, and disrespecting authority, as well as engaging in sex or premarital sex. So that is actually it ruins your reputation as an adolescent. Positive peer pressure, on the other hand, is often overlooked but does exist, okay? It may be described as an influence to do what is right, like studying, volunteering, befriending someone, community service, and joining a sports team. So it actually gives you self-esteem, and doing the right things makes you feel really good about yourself. Okay, compared to negative peer pressure that actually ruins your reputation and actually affects your performance in school and also affects your relationship. So there is actually a study which is the positive peer pressure that can make person do things that are ultimately very good for them. So 19% of teens said they would stop using cell phone while driving if their friends did the same. Okay, so they follow what the group does. Okay, so is this going to lead to a healthy habit? Okay, positive peer pressure can lead someone to do things that are good for them, such as exercise, eating healthy food, avoiding smoking. When these healthy things becomes a habit, it can often be traced back to instances of positive peer pressure. Okay, so that's why it's important that you know your friends. So that does this lead to good outcomes for others? And I think pressure that leads to good outcomes of others is a positive thing. Does this make me feel good inside? Being pushed to do something by well-meaning friends should make a person feel good about their decisions. Okay, so if it is right, it feels good inside. Okay, remember that. Okay. So if you want to know if when you're in doubt and you're dealing with negative peer pressure, ask these questions. So take note of these questions. So am I hesitant to do this? It's important to listen to instinct. If something feels wrong for whatever reason, it probably is. Okay, so beware. Think this though. So does this make me feel bad about myself? So pressure from well-meaning friends should result in positive feelings. So if instead the person experiences shame, doubt, or guilt, worries about consequences, or takes a hit to their self-esteem, it's almost always coming from negative peer pressure. So you don't feel good about yourself and you don't feel actually happy about it. Okay, so is this something I would prefer to hide? Is this something you'd feel comfortable discussing with friends and family? If you instinctively want to hide or an action, okay, or behavior with regards to your peer pressure or what they want you to do, then it's a negative peer pressure. So remember those questions that I have mentioned a while ago. So take note of this. There is also myth about peer pressure. So all peer pressure is negative. So peer pressure can also be positive. It actually gives you opportunity to discover new things and to gain self-esteem and also to belong in a group of friends that helps you improve yourself. Okay, So giving in to peer pressure means person will fit in and feel better about themselves. So if you give in to peer pressure, that often leaves you with a feeling that they've betrayed their own beliefs or desires in order to conform to what others want. Okay, to it is actually not a positive peer pressure. Okay, myth. Bad behavior can be excused by peer pressure. No, while some behaviors may be influenced by peer pressure, it's never an excuse to behave badly or not do your responsibility as a good citizen in your own country. Okay, so it's not an excuse to do bad things. So remember that, okay? If they say it's okay within the group, no, that is a negative peer pressure. So peer pressure doesn't get really bad until the teen years, okay? Most people want to fit in from a very young age, leaving them open to peer pressure. So it may seem more intense during the teen years because individuals are more aware of the impact their choices have. Okay, so bullying is a fact of life. It happens to everybody and it is normal. A big no, okay? Although many people may experience bullying in their lifetime, it isn't something that should be accepted as a fact of life because bullying actually is a bad behavior, okay? Young people should learn to work on peer pressure on their own. Okay, although it is important for young people to learn to speak for themselves, adults must guide them in understanding how to recognize positive peer pressure and how to avoid negative ones. So they also have responsibility to intervene when necessary. That's why for parents, they really need to know the friends of their children, okay? So those who don't give in to peer pressure wind up feeling lonely and outcast. Many people successfully resist peer pressure, yes, strengthening their sense of self and their ability to thrive in a variety of social settings. So they may keep their friendships intact or find a new group of like-minded friends. Okay, remember this, okay? If you actually have that self-esteem and you have that sense of self, you can resist peer pressure. There's also a myth that says that peer pressure only comes from friends and peers. So reality check, peer pressure may come from other people too, so such as parents and teachers. So although they are not technically a student peers, they may reinforce the attitudes that results in the pressure. So media is also responsible for a great deal of peer pressure. That's why it's really important that what kind of a movie or video you're watching in social media really affects children, adolescents. So there's nothing anyone can do about peer pressure. Of course not. So you can do or you can stop peer pressure. There are many things a person can do to make sure it doesn't negatively affect their lives. So don't think about you cannot control it, you cannot stop it, because you can. Another myth, okay? Peer pressure impacts a person's social life, but typically does not extend to their education. Of course not. Peer pressure can affect any aspect of someone's life, including their education, especially the negative peer pressure. It affects the school performance of a child. So people may be directly teased for being smart or earning good grades, leading to less effort or pride in their schoolwork. Okay, remember that pressure in other areas may also spill over and influence educational performance. So there are 5 common social pressures among students. So what are these pressures that you have to take note of this? Okay, the drugs and alcohol. So it's easy to find on both college and high school campuses. And teens might feel the pressure to be cool by experimenting with something exotic. Most of our patients actually started their vices during high school, and later some have during college. So stealing. Maybe it happens on a dare, a challenge to do this, or you're not one of us. Stealing can have an immediate impact, including strong feelings of remorse once the rush of adrenaline wears off. The feeling of guilt, worries about being caught, and concerns about possible damage to the reputation. That's why it really is not good to have that peer pressure about stealing. Another thing is engaging in sexual activity. Seeing friends hooking up can make it seem as though sex is what everyone does, a common activity that's not a big deal. But it is a big deal, especially in our morality. Doing sexual act with someone you just feel because it's due to peer pressure, it's not good. And someday you really feel the importance of doing that sexual activity with your husband. This peer pressure can also lead to serious consequences such as sexually transmitted infections or pregnancy, unplanned pregnancy, of course, that affects the baby. So preserve yourself until you get married someday, and that would be the right time for you to engage in sexual activity. And negative peer pressure can also affect you to do bullying, okay? When you are a bully, most people likely do not think of themselves as bullies, but the playground persecutor is just one version of a bully. And bullying behavior can be developed in small doses. If a group of friends begins to bully someone else, cheering each other on, it can lead to a conundrum for the student who recognizes what's happening. If they stand aside and resist taking part, they may be treated as an outcast. But if they do join, and they will face the negative feelings accompanied by becoming a bully themselves. Okay, bullying is condemned. Okay, you can be reported in the guidance office, and you can have records due to bullying. So avoid bullying, and it's not good to bully other people. You can also be pressured in doing dangerous behavior, no? When hanging out with a group of friends who are doing crazy things, standing firm against it, or even walking away can be difficult. So it's also easy to justify some behaviors as not that bad, especially if they don't seem all that risky on the surface. So unfortunately, the facts don't support the rationalizations. Risky behaviors lead to death every day, especially among young people. Okay, so avoid group that will make you do this. You can identify students who have traits putting students that at high risk of falling to peer pressure. Those who have low self-esteem, lack of confidence, uncertainty about one's place within a given peer group, no personal interests. Okay, lack of direction in life, having depression, eating disorders, poor academic abilities or performance. Those children are at risk of falling to peer pressure. So if you identify these students, make sure you can guide them as parents know or teachers. So observe children who are having these traits because they are prone to peer pressure. So how can you help them, no? Help children deal with peer pressure. There are steps that can be followed when confronted with peer pressure. So tell them, ask questions. Why would we do that? Okay? Whose idea was this? Is this a smart thing to do? So identify the negative behavior or action. Calling her names is just going to start trouble. Don't think smoking is a good idea. It is against school policy to leave the grounds, okay? Evaluate the consequences. We will get in trouble. Smoking is not healthy. My parents will take away my allowance. So these are actually the questions that children or adolescent or even adult have to ask themselves if it's a negative or positive peer pressure. So they must know the negative behavior and evaluate the consequences. Okay, so other questions like suggest an alternative. Why don't we go to the store after school is over? Okay, after school is over, not during classes. So leave the situation. If all else fails, remove yourself from the situation, walk away, and do something else. So what are the positive and healthy ways to deal with peer pressure? So strategies for students to use. No, make a joke and change the subject. If you're not comfortable with it, say no and keep saying no. Be firm about it. Leave the area. Get help from someone you trust. Suggest a different activity or hang out with others who share your beliefs. Okay, help students develop decision-making skills. And how to avoid and resist negative peer pressure. Spend time with those who resist peer pressure. You'll learn who they are quickly. They're the ones who stand up for themselves, even in the face of bullying. Okay, these are the people who want in your corner, who share your beliefs. Okay, learn how to be assertive. Learn to say no. Okay, no, in a way that's calm and convincing. Okay, be firm. Okay, and stand for your belief. Ask help if necessary. If you're faced with relentless bullying, don't simply wait for it to go away. Reach out to a teacher, mentor, parent, or counselor to get some help with the problem. We actually have policies with regards to bullying, okay? Okay, get out of the situation when a situation begins to turn bad, such as a group of people doing risky things, okay? Have an excuse ready that you can use, okay, if you need it. Okay, then bullies will bully you if you let them. Okay, so don't let them continue to bully others or even you. Okay, so seek help. Choose friends carefully. Remember, a true friend won't push you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. And when it comes to resisting negative pressures, it helps to have a buddy. Okay, agree that you'll have each other's back on certain things, such as not drinking too much. Use the delay tactic. Okay, rather than answer immediately, say you're going to think something over first. That the time buffer makes you eventually know less of a surprise. Okay, think ahead. If you know there will be drugs or alcohol at the party, decide in advance how you will handle it or make other plans, okay? Or just avoid it. Provide your own positive pressure, okay? Rather than simply fighting against negative pressure, focus on providing a positive alternative. For instance, counter a fraternity party invitation with a proposal to go see a movie instead. Okay, so have your own plans. It's okay to be alone. Sometimes we give into peer pressure to avoid feeling lonely, but spending time with yourself is a way to rejuvenate and reinforce your own priorities and your own values and beliefs. Go with your gut. If something doesn't feel right for you, then it's not. Period. Okay, so don't go or don't push yourself in order for you to feel that you're not alone. Okay, it's okay to do what's right. Okay, boost your self-esteem. Remember to boost your self-esteem, and remember there are steps with regards to boosting your self-esteem. Okay, master a new skill. When you become skilled in something that corresponds with your talents and interests, you increase your sense of competency. Okay, master a skill like communication. Okay, technical skills, arts. Okay, you can master a new skill or even sports. Okay, list your accomplishments. Think about all the things you've accomplished, then write them down. It will make you feel fulfilled. Make a list of everything you've done to feel proud of everything you've done well. Review your list when you need a reminder of your ability to get things done and do them well. Okay, remember that you have accomplishments. It may be short term or long term or big or small. Okay, and third is do something creative. Creative tasks are a great way to put the flow into your life. Okay, creativity stimulates our brain and it's healthy for your brain. So the more you use it, the greater the benefits. Pull out your old guitar, write a story of poem, take a dance class, or sign up for a community theater production. When you add a challenge of trying something new, it helps you even more. Okay, so do something creative that will make you be a better person. Okay, fourth is get clear on your values. Okay, so you must have your own standards. Okay, determine what your values are and examine your life to see where you're not living in alignment with what you believe. Then make any necessary changes. The more you know what you stand for, the more confident you will be. Okay, so be clear with your own standards and your own beliefs. Okay. And next is, fifth is to challenge your limiting beliefs. When you catch yourself thinking negatively about yourself, stop and challenge yourself, or seek evidences that if you really are thinking true about yourself. Okay, don't let yourself be limited by erroneous beliefs. Okay, so challenge it. Stand at edge of your comfort zone. Stretch yourself and move to the edge of your comfort zone. Get uncomfortable. Trying new things, okay? Meet different people, approach a situation in an unconventional way. Confidence begins at the edge of your comfort zone, okay? So, so go out of your comfort zone, okay? And do something new with good people. Okay, so next is to help someone. Okay, be altruistic. Use your talents, your skills and abilities to help others. Give someone direct assistance, share helpful resources, or teach someone something they want to learn. Offer something you do well as a gift to someone. Okay, so remember to help someone. It will make you feel good about yourself. It will make you feel fulfilled and have a purpose in life. That you actually have a purpose. That's why you're still existing. And you feel good at it will increase actually your self-esteem and make you more important. Okay, so next is heal your past. Okay, unresolved issues and drama can keep you trapped in low self-esteem. Seek the support of a trained counselor to help you heal the past so you can move on to the future in a confident and self-assured way. You can also ask professional help from a psychiatrist. Okay, heal your past. Stop worrying about what others think. Okay, when you worry about what others will think of you, you will never be free to completely accept yourself. Make a firm decision to stop worrying about what other people think. Begin making choices based on what you want. Okay, not what you think others want from you. Okay, stop worrying about what others think. Okay, so remember that. So read something inspirational. A great way to gain more self-esteem is to read something that lifts you up and makes you feel positive about yourself. Okay, so read something inspirational. You can read a Bible, you can read journals, you can read something that will make you feel better and be inspired and motivated to do something that will help others, help you, and help your family and friends. Okay, reclaim your integrity. Okay, integrity. So define what integrity means for you and ensure that you're living in accordance with that understanding. If your life isn't aligned with your character, it will drain you and leave you feeling bad about yourself. Okay, so you stand for your own standards and reclaim your integrity. Okay, so you must be a trustworthy person, that you walk the talk. Okay, what you say, you do. Okay, so refrain from ruining your integrity. So do something that will reclaim your integrity. So next is let negative people go. Okay, if there are people in your life who are negative, who have nothing positive to say, or who put you down or take advantage of you, Do the smart thing and let them go. Okay, the only way to find your self-esteem is surround yourself with supportive, positive people who admire you and value you. Okay, successful people and good people will not put you down. They will actually be happy to lift you up and make you be successful and gain your self-esteem as well. So draw a line in the sand, okay? The best way to find your self-esteem is to create personal boundaries. Know what your boundaries are and how you wish to respond when people cross them. Don't allow others to control you, take advantage of you, or manipulate you. To be confident is to maintain firm boundaries, okay? If you're actually confident, you won't allow those people who will take advantage of you and manipulate you because you know your own boundaries, okay? Care about your appearance. When you look your best, you feel your best, okay? Dress like someone was confident and let your self-assurance come through in how you look, okay? So care about yourself, take care of your appearance so you can increase also your self-esteem and you feel better, and you won't let anyone judge you, okay? Especially physically, you feel better, okay? Welcome failure as part of growth. It's okay to fail, okay? It's a common response to be hard on yourself when you failed, but if you can shift your thinking to understand that failure is an opportunity to learn, that it plays a necessary role in learning and growth, it can help you keep perspective. Remember too that failure means you're making an effort, okay? Those who are successful have failed. Remember that. So it's okay to fail. And always remain a student. Think of yourself as a lifelong learner, okay? Approach everything that you do with a student's mentality. What Zen Buddhists call Soshin, or beginner's mind, open, eager, unbiased, and willing to learn. So, always remain a student and always learn, okay? There are a lot of things in life, in your surroundings, in everything that you still have to learn, okay? So, remain a student and keep on learning. Enjoy learning. So also face your fear, okay? Allow yourself to feel afraid, but keep going anyway. Self-esteem is often found in the dance between your deepest desires and your greatest fears. Face your fear, and it will actually make you feel good about yourself. It will add to your confidence and competency, okay? So self-esteem will also be increased if you are facing your fears. Because it will increase your self-confidence. And become a mentor. Be there for someone who needs your guidance, your leadership, and your support. The respect and gratitude and watching them progress with your help will add to your self-esteem and self-respect. So becoming a mentor, first you have to be a good follower, a good example to them. So do have your boundaries and standard before you become a mentor. Then next is define success. So clarify what success means to you and what it means in terms of your confidence. If you really want to do something, you will have to find a self-esteem within yourself to just do it, okay? So successful people have plans, okay? So you have to do something to be successful, okay? So first is to increase your self-confidence, then be successful, okay? So thank you very much for listening. I hope you have learned from my video and this lecture, and you may share it to your friends, family, and colleagues and students as well. So these are actually resources online, useful books that you can also read in order to prevent bullying, about peer pressure, about what teachers can do about bullying, and how to say no and keep your friends, okay? Dealing with peer pressure. Dealing with peer pressure in school, advice and resources to overcome peer pressure while pursuing an education. So thank you for watching and listening. Deal with peer pressure, the negative versus positive peer pressure, because it affects your mental health.